Hello and welcome back to the Stronghold, and Happy New Year. It's 2022, and it's become kind of a tradition around here that around New Year's I like to talk about the best budget decks from last year so that all of our recent additions here on Arena can gain our experience over the last year and really just start focusing in on the very best decks from last year so that they can have the best start to 2022 that they possibly can. Stay tuned. But before we get into all that, what do you say we do the awkward thing and promote the channel? You see, I've set a goal of 1,000 subs by September of this year, and we've still got a long way to go. But what I realize is no matter how much content I put out or how good I think it is, I can't reach this goal without you. So take this opportunity to subscribe to the channel. And if you don't feel like you can subscribe yet, leave me a comment down below and let me know why so I can try and address your concern. You see, around here, we try and be different because we think you matter as a member of the community. Just like all these fine folks that have chosen to join our community during the first quarter of this budget year and have also chosen to make their subscription public. There isn't a lot of support for this kind of content on YouTube. And I think we can make a change there. I think we can make this content and this community matter both on Arena and on YouTube. I know I can't, but I think we can. So please take this opportunity to consider joining our community and joining the fight for making our viewpoints matter. Now, so as always, I like to give a little more value than advertised. So I'm going to open up this conversation with an honorable mention of the blue-black zombies deck. And as far as those top 3 decks up there, just be patient. We'll get to that in just a moment. But Zombies gets an honorable mention here because it's based almost entirely from cards in the Innistrad sets that came out at the beginning of this budget year. It loses almost nothing at rotation, so this deck has over a year to really get good, and I would be very surprised if this wasn't at least one of the sub-themes of the blue-black new player experience decks next August. So definitely keep your eye on this one. Definitely be picking up cards where you can. I don't think you will regret those investments. So green-white life gain matters is probably one of the better decks you can put together from your new player experience. Unfortunately, we do not see a lot of support of life gain matters in these colors. We tend to see it more in black-white in the last budget year, as well as the Innistrad decks Innistrad sets from this year. So there's really only so far you can go with this particular one, but if you're looking to complete a green or white color challenge as an early player, or you're looking to just have a fairly consistent deck that will help you hit your challenges each day, this is an easy, nice way to go. Unfortunately, it's just not going to do much for you on the rank ladder. At number 4, we've got another winner out of the new player experience decks, the red-green Savage Lands deck. I did a couple videos on upgrading this to the snow package, and I do think it is a good change that really boosts this from, just looking at the non-player experience decks, it basically takes it from a 9 to a 10. But we do have some additional decks that are even better than this that we will be getting to here in just a moment. But Savage Lands is a great little heavy-hitting aggro classic red-green stompy deck. That is a deck that you can probably play in Historic to the same type of effect, but probably kind of an 8 in Historic terms. But definitely worth your time and a great way to finish out some of those color challenges and things like that. And of course, my number one pick for a budget deck coming from 2021 is, you guessed it, Mono Red Goblins. This deck runs pretty much the exact same list in both Standard and in Alchemy, seeing little to no difference in the play itself, although the meta is different. So you may get slightly different win-loss percentage results. I will say this deck also has significant historic ramifications, as Goblins is a real deck, although it's not necessarily going to be anywhere near the list that what we have here. But I think this teaches us a lot and is a good starting point for a historic Goblins deck. In fact, one of the very first decks that I will be talking about when Kamigawa comes out and we start talking about Historic will be Goblins in Historic. We'll be talking about the best way to spend some of your wild cards to make it a more historic relevant build and what exactly that looks like. Now, of course, you may be asking, why wait until Kamigawa comes out? Well, for one, third quarter is when I tend to talk about Historic and getting ready for Historic on the channel in, well, it takes on the spotlight at this point. Much like second quarter is our time to talk about competitive decks. And speaking of competitive, the Goblin Grinder deck that you're looking at has been quite competitive. I'm running about a 60% win ratio and chugging my way through gold this very month. And, well, we'll see where we get on that. Like I said, this deck works exactly as seen for Standard and Alchemy and has a lot of potential for Historic too, and we will be talking about that Historic implications in the near future. So there it is, guys. That's our top 5 budget decks from 2021. Matt would probably like you to know that I'm going to put the list for the green, both Standard and Alchemy versions, as well as the white Standard deck in the doobly-doo down below. If you're looking for Goblins, make sure to check out the individual videos featuring Goblins, because that deck does morph a little bit over time, and depending upon where you are in your collection, you may need a slightly different version of the list. We have also done separate videos on the green-white life gain, as well as a mono-white life gain, and zombies, and the RG Snowy Lands, Savage Lands deck. So be sure to check out those videos if you're looking for more specific details on those. Because the in-depth video is going to go into, well, a lot that we didn't go into here. All right, so with all that having been said, don't forget, smash the like button like Hulk would. And, of course, comment and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And one last thing, myself, I'm coming to you from America, and I have noticed that about 1/3 of my viewership is coming from the US, and about 1/3 is coming from various countries. And there's about 1/3 of my viewership that is just getting lumped into other. So to let me know you got to the end of the video, throw me a comment down in there and let me know where you are watching from.